What's up, guys? Today we have honorary member of Top Tier Gaming, Levi here, and he's been doing good with what deck?
My 18 different decks on this channel. I played Unchained for the past 4 tournaments, and I won 3 of them. And the one I lost, I went X1 still. I just bricked the last game.
Yeah.
So, unfortunate. But it's a really good, consistent deck, and I'm really enjoying it right now against the meta. I do have to say, it dies to Dragoon hard.
Yeah.
So, if your locals is looking like Dragoon, this ain't it. Okay, so going into the main deck, I would also like to mention, shout out to Triv. And this deck is one of the most satisfying ones because everything's a 3-of and then it's just one inferior order. So going off with the monsters, play 3 Sarama. You target an Unchained and Graveyard. It doesn't matter if it's a monster or a trapper spell. Or not the spell, sorry. It's not an Unchained card.
Yeah, an Unchained card.
Yeah. So you set it to your field and then you destroy a card on the field. And then all the twins have the effect if they're destroyed by battle or card effect. You can special an Unchained from deck. And play 3 Aruha. This one can special itself from hand by destroying a card you control, and then locks you into fiend monsters, which doesn't really come up that often. But and 3 Rakea. This one has a on-field effect. It's a quick effect, so you can do it on your opponent's turn too, where you pop a card on the field, and that's it.
Yeah.
Just to lock you in.
Yeah.
There is a really cool interaction that usually never really comes up, but if you have Rakea on field and your opponent's doing their combo, and you activate Nibiru, you can chain this and lock yourself into fiends, and then Nibiru tries to resolve as much as possible and just tributes everything on the board, but doesn't summon itself. So it's a cool interaction that can happen, but it doesn't that often. And then for the big dudes who play 2 Abominable. If a card on your field is destroyed by a card effect or battle, you can special summon it from hand. And then whenever it's special summoned, you can non-targeting discard a card and pop a card on the field. And then during the end phase, if it's in the graveyard because it was destroyed that turn, you can special it back. Shout out to Skarm because you always forget that.
Yeah.
And the 1 brick.
Big dog.
Yeah, it's the best card and the worst card. So if it's destroyed, it specials 1 from graveyard, and 1 on your turn you can target a effect monster on your opponent's board and then link off with it, and then it gains 300 attack for each Unchained card in graveyard.
And he's in every starting hand ever.
Oh yeah, I think I've drawn this in the past 3 tournaments, like at least 40 or 50% of the time.
Yeah.
You always see the bricks. And then I'm playing 3 D-Shifter. A lot of decks in the meta just cannot play through or around this card at all.
Yep. And
this deck doesn't really care about it. So it's just a really good card to play. I think a lot of decks are playing it, but I've seen some people not doing it, but it's worth playing it in this deck. And then 3 Ash. Yeah, there's not much to say about Ash. And 3 Emperor. So like I said, Dragoon is the nightmare of this deck, but if you don't know, if you're under D-Shifter, your opponent can't activate Verte because they have to send the spell for cost, so they can't attempt to activate it. If they hard draw the fusion, you can Ash it, or you can imperm the Verte. It's kind of like the outs to Verte, because Dragoon is a big problem with this deck.
Ash and Imperm are also just like the best generic hand traps in the game.
Yeah.
Like just standalone cards.
I mean, honestly, every time I see D-Shifter, I'm like, oh, I win.
Yeah, and also there are a bunch of other good hand traps have to go to grave. So like those are the ones that don't conflict with D-Shifter.
Yeah, you can't activate Droll or Valor
or
D-Shifter.
I don't think you can Crow either.
Yeah. And onto the spells, we're only playing 6, playing the 3 extra. You really don't care about your extra deck. And honestly, I don't even make the Link 2 that often. And then for the other one, it's the 3 Abomination Prison. If this card was like spoofing and had its name changed, this would be 20 times better, but so this card is kind of like a roto for the whole deck. You can add anything. And then as far as like all the Unchained spell and trap cards, if they're destroyed while set on your field, you can special from deck. And then onto the trap cards, play 3 Escape. This one targets a Unchained monster you control and a card on the field, and then destroys both. And then if it's destroyed, you special. This came up a lot against like a lot of problem cards. You could just pop something on their field, and then also somebody evenly matched me, and I was able to pop my 2 monsters on board, and then bring at the end phase bring back the Abominable. So I just kind of played around evenly matched because of this. It's pretty cool. And then 3 Chamber. This one can special from hand or graveyard. It doesn't target, which is cool.
Yeah.
And then the best trap in the game, Torian's Tribute. Everybody runs into this deck. They can't help it. It's a sickness.
Yeah.
They have to run into it. And my deck just obviously doesn't care because everything wants to be destroyed.
Yep. Like when you torrential and go +4, it's just like, damn, bro. All right.
Yeah. And then 3 strike. It's just really good. And then for the other old man, the one of.
Yeah.
I think I've drawn this probably a third of my games. I don't know. One of luck. You always see Dog and Imperial Order.
Yep. Also, Torrential Strike is just kind of like, this deck already is pretty good going second, but Torrential Strike is like the best 2-card combo for going second.
Going against combo decks is actually kind of fun because of you have the Imperm, the Ash, the D-Shifter, and then like pop cards with the strike, so it's actually like really fun to play going second against combo decks.
Yeah.
Going into the extra deck, like I said, this extra deck doesn't matter. That's why you play extra. You play 3 Rage. It's the Link 2. So you have to have one of the big guys to make it because it requires a Unchained Soul. So you can't use the twins, but you can use these 3 to make it. And then it has a quick effect during your opponent's turn, or during your opponent's main phase. You can target a special summon monster they control and then link off into it for a dark monster. And then if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can add a fiend monster from the graveyard. And then we're playing 3 Anguish. This is the only 3 one. You target a special summon monster your opponent controls and link off with it on your turn. And then for the last Unchained, we played 2 Abomination. I don't think I've summoned this card one time in any games over the course of 2 weeks. But it's still really good to pop 3 cards in a turn. I guess I should mention the only time that you ever can go into this without losing like all sense of value is when like you actually are already winning the game. Like most of the time, I don't even make the Link 3. I just kill them on turn 2 because they can't break the board, and then I just break theirs. Onto the Link 4s. I'm playing Access Code. You could definitely bump this up. Honestly, I'd play 3 just so I have a Dragoon out, but because if you banish this off extra, Dragoon's really getting in there. And then Zero Boris. This one hasn't come up either, but it's like pretty cool. I really want to resolve the effect, but
Isn't he technically also an out if he's just big enough?
True. If they don't negate it,
yeah,
you can also out Dragoon with Zero Boris.
I don't know, not even that. He just gets big and just punches over it.
True. Yeah. And then I'm playing Topologic Bomber Dragon. This one's really cool. I haven't got to do it, but whenever you get to pop one of the twins and then special it to a zone and then pop everything in the main monster zone and then special another twin out of the zone, it's really, really good. So I definitely recommend playing this, but if you wanted to cut it for the second access code, definitely do it. And then for my time condition card, we're playing Trisbader.
Jokingly.
Yeah, jokingly, not stalling for time.
Yeah.
So, if you don't know what it does, when a monster is special summoned to a zone it points to, you banish all spell and trap cards on the field and then burn your opponent for 500 for each one. Pretty cool, especially against trap decks when you just banish everything.
Yep. That was like the old BA play where you just make that and then like Dante loop back to it and just banish.
And then I'm playing 2 Unicorn. This is the other target that you use for Rage. You either go into Anguish or you need to go into Unicorn. Most of the time it's Anguish, but you still need to play at least 2. And then Phoenix for the last one. I don't think I made this one at all, but it's there for weird trap cards I don't want to get rid of.
That's what's it. as I say in every profile that I do, if you have space for Phoenix, you put a Phoenix in your extra deck.
So onto the side deck, I'll definitely note that I don't think I sided more than like 5 cards in any game because the main deck is actually just so perfect. I think the only match I actually sided more than 5 was a mirror match.
Yeah.
Because half of our cards are useless for each other. So played 3 Nibiru. Like I said, with the Rakea interaction, it's pretty cool. But then, stopping combo decks is good. And Pankratops, it breaks the entire Tri-Brigade board, as well as does a lot of damage to the Dragon Link board. They have Savage and Sphere. And we're playing 2 Kaiju. I'm playing this one because it's a Fiend monster, just in case I'm locked in. But you can definitely play 3 if you want to, but it's just another out for Dragoon. As well as 3 Dark Ruler. So the goal of this deck is not to OTK, so you can break their board turn 1 with this, and then just continue taking control of the match from there. So it's definitely worth citing this no matter what, even though it's kind of bad in the format right now in my opinion, other than Virtual World. And for back row hate, I am playing evenly matched. I was playing MST and then also tried Cosmic, but ultimately evenly matched just is the best card ever going second.
Yeah.
For being honest.
Yeah.
So if you don't need your battle phase, because like I'll use my battle phase, do this, and then just like either do my Unchained combo and end on Rage, or just set a twin and just pass.
And the most disrespectful thing ever.
Yeah.
Evenly, set a monster, pass.
And then I decided to play Sanctum and Scythe for just going first. I definitely think a lot of people are scared to pop the back row because of the special summon effect by all the spells and traps. But since you're playing so many real traps, you kind of need to pop it. So it's just pretty funny if you get to, like, if they Twin Twister, target Sanctum, and you get to special Scythe, lock them out of the extra deck, and pop a card. It's really good. And then even if you draw this, you can pop it with, Escape.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Abominable. You can't do it with Rakea, because Rakea is going to lock you into Fiend monsters.
Yeah.
But even if you draw, it's not bad. But that's it for the deck profile.
Alright, thank you for the profile. Good luck in your future Unchained adventures.
Mm-hmm.
Subscribe, click the link tree, follow the stuff. Bye.